Hi, Phase Crew.
Hello.
It's Yolanda Joyner.
And Cecilia Velazquez.
Yes. So tonight we're going to talk to you about an in-home party that we did, or an in-home LimeLight event, I should say, that we did yesterday, and it was super successful. It was my sister's, and we were together, but it was like the best. So I think that we've sort of perfected, or close to perfected, doing an in-home event. And so we're really, really excited to share what made this event so successful yesterday. So hi, Kimberly. Hi, Lauren. If you all want to...
Hi, Debbie.
Hey. If you want to invite your teams or share this in your team page, you are more than welcome to do so. We're going to go over a little bit of what we did before, during, and after. So I'm going to let my sister go ahead and start.
Okay. Hi, guys. Hopping on. Okay. So this host and I had a conversation before the party even started. And, you know, she called it a party. I called it an event. You can use those interchangeably. I like event because it just sounds better to me. And I sort of use these as like an educational time where I can teach them about who we are as a company and how to use our products. And that mindset to me is just kind of the way I run my events, and they seem to be working really well. I've had a few and sort of tweaked them over time. We have some notes, so I'm going to be looking a little bit. I can see it from right there. Okay, so before we start the party, I contact the host and I find out obviously the date, the time. I have them for about 3 hours. No, 2 hours. Sorry. I had it from 1 to 3 and it was just 2 hours, and I basically said to her, I don't want to take up your whole... Am I looking okay if I'm looking there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here you go.
I basically said I don't want to take up your whole evening, and we want people to be prompt. So I try to say, you know, make sure you let people know there's a start time and there's an end time.
Yes.
So I created an invitation for her on Red Stamp. It was beautiful. It was really quick and easy. Sent that over to her. She actually made like a Facebook event and then invited people that way. You can choose to invite them any way you want. But I did let her know that I wanted to use her or like a volunteer at the event as a model. And she was like, oh, you can, you know, do me. That way I don't have to put any makeup on that day. So that ended up working perfectly. So she was our little model. And I have always, ever since my launch party, actually, I have done events this way. And it really has worked out well. So a couple things you're going to want to do before. Make sure all of your brushes are clean. We want to be sanitary. Make sure that you have sanitary tools like this. You can get them on our website. You can get them on Amazon. These are little mascara wands. I also have this, which I'm going to share this at the end. It just says, for sanitary purposes, do not try the makeup products without the proper sanitary tools from your beauty guide. Thank you. And I leave that right on the table because I do not want anybody to contaminate my stuff. And it makes us look really professional if we're keeping everything nice and clean.
Yeah, so speaking of that, the way that she had her palettes on display was like this, and this is just a picture holder, and everything, and we'll drop a picture of what the display looked like at the end of this, but everything is like nice and up. I'm not sure if you've seen events where everything sort of lays really flat, but this was an awesome way to have everything displayed. So there was a foundation, this is the trio, there was also the 18 Well eyeshadow palette, and our hostess had a pretty small like little table for us to use that was inside of her dining room, and so everyone sat around the dining room table, and then I think it was like a buffet, the top of a buffet that we used, and so it really is nice to have everything upright this way so that it's beautiful as soon as you walk in, and it also they can see it, and then it's condensed because not everybody's going to have a ton of space. So that really made things really nice. And like I said, I will go ahead and we'll put this in the comments at the end of this video too so that you can see the setup.
Yeah, these are just from Michael's. Always use a 40% off coupon. And if you know a teacher, you can get an additional 15% off. This is like a picture frame holder, and they have both sizes. This is good for like the smaller palettes, and this is good for the larger palettes. Okay, and then I also print these, and I'm going to share this with you guys too. This is a huge hit. This is, I don't really know what I want to call this. I guess it's like a pro tip sheet. So we have a header at the top with our watermark and our logo, and then I have a fun fact about the specific product, like the fun fact about our specific concealer or blush or so on and so forth, and then a pro tip. And these are all the pro tips that we've gotten from the pros here at LimeLight, estheticians and makeup artists, and that's what makes us really unique, is that we have access to all of this like wealth of knowledge, so people want us to share that with them. So I've done that, and then down on the footer, I gave my name, that I'm a beauty guide, my phone number, and my website. Now you can use this as your business card if you run out, which is what I did. Always try to keep your business cards on you, but I ran out literally like the weekend that she asked me to have this party, and it was really quick. So I'll share this with you guys, and I just have them tri-folded and in this cute little LimeLight bag. I swear I think this is what we got at LimeLight Palooza in our swag bags, and I kept it. But it just looks really pretty. The presentation's nice. So everybody got one of those. I'm going to go to now the during, okay? So everybody's there, we meet and we greet, and then everyone sits down, and they can kind of choose where they sit, and I let them know, like, the makeup's going to be up here, you will have an opportunity to touch it and get, you know, your hands wet with it, but right now I want you to have a seat. I passed out these info sheets to everybody, and it was the best. They were sitting there and reading, and they were so quiet. They were so excited about this info sheet. I have had every single party I've ever had, I've given these out. And I don't know, whatever made me do it, it works. It's awesome. Okay, so the during part, during the party, I give a quick history of LimeLight, and it makes people feel like we are legit, that we are professional. They understand that we are professional and where we come from. And, you know, think about the history. You don't need me to explain to you why that's so important.
Kimberly, we are going to actually upload this into the files after, so that everyone has a copy of it. And then if you want, you can take the idea, like take it this way, or you can actually tweak it and kind of make it your own as well. So we will make sure that we put this into the files for you.
Oh, good, Ricky. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yay.
And I think everyone went from like intently reading to the sheet. And as soon as she said, like, we're going to teach you something today and teach you the techniques. And another thing that was really important that my sister said was, you know, there are no rules. She emphasized that a lot because there was a really heavy emphasis on how professional LimeLight is and the reason why we wanted to partner with this company and all these things. But then after that, it was really like, we're going to show you some tips and she's going to work on the model, but know that this is just the information that we've learned and what works for us, but you can always, you know, do what works best for you too.
Yeah. And after I gave the history, I told them why I was here personally, what I do. I'm a teacher during the day, why this fits into my life nicely. And I just gave a real quick, like, I wasn't trying to sell them and get them to join my team yet. I was just letting them know that that's who I am, for those of them who didn't know me. Obviously, thank the person who invited you to their home. You want to compliment, you know, something about their home or their friends, or just be really friendly. That's important. Like she said, I said today I'm going to be teaching you. Now, when I went into the introducing the model part, I had the model, which was the host. You can ask her, I would ask her ahead of time if she's okay with it. And if she's not, then call on a volunteer. And if you have make-off wipes, then you can just give them one of those and have them then you can show them how good those work too. So as I introduce every step of what I do, doing like a full face, I make sure that I'm introducing the product. So I start off by talking about skincare and the emphasis of skincare and why it's so important and why you should never touch your face with a lick of makeup until you've prepped your skin. And that, you know, was really, really easy for me to go from one product to the next and one category of our products to the next because I was just going step by step.
Yeah.
And then this was her bright idea. As I'm talking and I'm trying to explain why I love SoTalk so much, she whips out her iPad and starts showing before and after pictures.
And you see that before and after pictures. And this is just an example of a picture, but something that I did was actually showed my own personal results of using like SoTalk and One Drop Wonder. And I think almost every person at the party purchased Sotox. It was amazing to see that that was on everyone's list when they saw the way that I have had these amazing results with the Sotox and the acne scarring and how it's reduced. And even it was just a 1 month before and after. And with me standing right there in front of them, they were like, yes, I need it. Add that to my cart. Everyone wanted Sotox. So, of course, if you have someone else's results, that's great. But if you have your own, always try to use those too.
Mm-hmm. Can you undo that?
Yes.
If you don't have an amazing partner to help you, we decided that we would share with you guys that you can just have, because I won't always have her. She's going back to Florida tomorrow, and I'm all by myself again. So have someone, or have already uploaded which pictures that you want to use, and just have them in an album and pass them around on your iPad, or borrow your child's iPad. They probably have one, or the neighbor, or whatever. If you don't have one, get some sort of device that they can look at.
And if you don't have a device, that's okay too, because Walgreens, you can get a coupon for 10-cent photos and drop them in a little photo album, and that's what can be passed around. So
hashtag no excuses.
No excuses.
That's what that means. Okay. Okay, so again, I do that same process from skincare all the way through makeup, and then setting your skin. And, then we can go back, just go through that process for every single thing that I do. Now, in the midst of that, I'm teaching them why it's important to do your brows this sort of way, or what's the best placement for your bronzer or your blush. And if you don't know that already, I have some tips in here. I basically just go over these again, and then I add a few more as well. Okay, I also mention that with our makeup, this is huge. If you guys do not have all of our makeup, it's okay. And believe it or not, you can have a really successful party.
Yes.
Even if you have just what's in your kit. And this is how you're going to do it. You're going to bring a catalog with you, and you are going to say, as you're showing them the blush, if you only have one, you're going to say on page 24, I don't really know if it's that page, but on page 24 in the catalogs that are there at the table, you guys will see all of the different colors that we have. And if you don't know what color is good for you and you want me to pick, I love doing that, so I will totally pick a color for you. But if you come to me and you say, I already have pink, then we might pair you up with something you don't have. So I let them know that, we could go any direction with this. Same thing with, concealer. If you don't know if you need one to cover your spots, or if you don't know if you need one for highlighting underneath your eye, I want you to tell me that at checkout, because that's when I can help you.
Yep.
And that's when you show that you're an expert and you're the professional. Also, I say, don't forget, you guys, when it comes time to check out, I really want you to think about some of the different collections we have. We only have one here in this catalog, but I can show you this. I have my website on this little picture. I made this on Canva. It's CeciliaMarieBeauty.com, and then there's my name on Facebook. I tell them to take a picture of this, so they always have my website.
Smart.
And they can go right on there and look at the Brighter Together Foundation, or, collections, because some people were getting a few things, and I'm like, who doesn't want to save a few bucks?
Yep.
Even for the trios. I had people who maybe just wanted a bronzer, and then I was able to upsell to a blush because they saw they would save a few bucks when they got two. And what I literally did was sort of opened up here. That worked out really well.
Yeah, it did.
The right page. And then I just showed them in the back. OMG. That was not planned. And I literally just did this. And I'm like, look, these are the colors you're going to choose from. And bam! You can save a couple dollars. That was magic.
It was magic. And so you guys know, we only had 6 foundation shades yesterday. That's it.
Yes.
That's all we had at the party. And the party was over $1,000.
Yes.
We were supposed to save that for the end, weren't we?
Yeah.
But that's okay. The party was over $1,000, which is amazing for her. And we had, 8 people?
Yes.
Including the hostess.
And also, I had a white lady, Rican ladies, and a black lady, our preschool teacher.
We
were all there. Everyone was there. And we were able to talk about how we have multiple shades that are beyond this 6, we are multifaceted. And then I was able to talk about Danessa Meyer, about how the Lottie collection was amazing, and she did work with Calvin Klein and Louis Vuitton. You better believe I name dropped the heck out of her, okay? And then we talked about Danessa and how important it is to our CEO, thanks to Felicia bringing this to her attention, that we really, they listen to us. We need this for our women of color. And, you could see the women of color that were there, they were preach it, because they understand the
Mm-hmm.
struggles of not having a wide variety of foundation shades. So it was really good.
Yep. Sorry, guys.
And I think that's the beauty of doing it on a model, because you can talk about things and you're not all over the place trying to think of what you're going to say.
Yeah.
You talk about foundation when you're doing foundation. Okay. Okay, now, makeup's done. Everything's done. We've gone through that. Do not forget to offer the LimeLight opportunity. I have our kit box as my centerpiece, and that, number one, serves as a reminder for me not to forget. Even if you have to put like a little dot on your palm, whatever it is that's going to remind you not to forget, because I almost forgot that yesterday. She had to remind me.
Yeah. And what happened?
And that's for the end too.
Okay.
So, talk about that. This is our packet. Then you can talk about the packaging too. Our packaging is gorgeous. It's customizable. Mm-hmm. All of this full-size product came in here, and I don't even think I mentioned how much it was to join, because it's not about that. Mm-hmm. We could be free, or we could be $500, and you get so much more, and we know that, so we don't even bring that up. Okay, next I explained the checkout process. I said, okay, here's the link you can shop from. If you're tech savvy, have at it on your iPhone. If you're not, it's all good. I'm going to be around and I'll help you. But you're going to place your orders today. And in a couple of days, they're going to show up on your doorstep. And I don't have to deliver them to you. You don't have to come pick them up.
Waiting a long
Margie
time.
doesn't have to come pick them up. Nope. Cheap shipping. Oh, no, I didn't say cheap, but reasonable.
You can say $2.95.
Yeah, $2.95 shipping.
Unless you go over $200,
which a lot of people did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a few people did. Anyway, okay, then we introduced the game that Kat did mentioned in a training on the Fempire. The game was really cool. Do you want to explain that?
Yes.
I'm a little out of breath.
So I will refresh you guys on the game if you haven't done that. Kat, thank you for that tip, because it was amazing. So everyone grabs their phones, brings their phone out, and types in something, like they're going to draft a text of what they loved about the event. Whether it was the makeover, if they loved learning about a skincare product, if they learned a tip during the makeup process, if they love the presentation, whatever it is, they're going to talk about something that they learned. So we got responses like, I love the mirror, I love the presentation, you all were so educated. I mean, there were so many things, so many different responses that you're going to get, which you can use as like testimonials, okay? Yes. And so what happens is everyone types that in, and at the bottom of it, they put their name. So I love the Reiki mirror. It was amazing. And Cecilia was the best, Yolanda. And then once everybody's ready, you say, are you guys ready to go? Yes. You give them the phone number. You give them your phone number, and the first text to hit your phone is the person who wins. And what did we give away? Something so simple. So I am encouraging all of you to stock up on this, because it costs nothing, and everyone wants to win one of these. So we gave away a lip mini, and if you wanted to do two, you could actually split this and give away the first and the second, or play another game, whatever you wanted to do. But that, I think, was a ton of fun. Everyone was like hurrying up and typing their stuff in, and who doesn't want to win something for free?
And the crazy thing is I forgot to bring that with me, so I didn't even have it. We just said, you're going to get a miniature version of this and this, and they were like, oh, I want it. Like, they didn't even touch the makeup yet. They didn't even know they wanted it, and they wanted it. So it made them excited. Plus, now I have all their phone numbers. Even if they didn't order, which they all did from this party, I would have had their phone number. And so I would have been able to follow up with them. So that's a genius idea.
Perfect.
Okay. Now, then I go through and help with checkout. I want you to think about a couple things. Upselling, asking people to host a party, and the business opportunity. There was someone who talked about the business opportunity. There was someone who talked about one product, and I upsold them to the next product. And, there are videos about upselling you guys can check out in the Face Crew and the Fempire. Yes. So we won't really go into that, but use that opportunity to upsell. Okay, if they're getting foundation, talk about concealer. If they're getting a brush, talk about the cleaner, so on and so forth. If someone seems like they had a really good time, actually, really, at checkout, you should be saying, would you want to have a couple people at your house to do this with? That makes me really awkward and nervous to do. But it was fun, and it was simple, and the educational piece of this, everybody loved it. it gave me that confidence of feeling like, wow, I wasn't that like old school makeup party that no one really wanted to come to. That was fun. Everybody loved it. It was so exciting. And so I was able to talk to someone about hosting a party, and we're going to touch base about, you know, getting her on our calendar, and I'll talk about that in a second too. Thank them over and over and over again. And don't like pressure them when it comes to checkout. They were really like interested in a couple of different products. Mm-hmm. And then I was able to say, well, why don't you look at this? And some people would say next time. And I said, okay, I'm going to put that on your wish list. And they were kind of like, okay. So now I made a note of that, and I'm going to reach out to them when I follow up with them and talk about the product that they didn't purchase that day, but that they had sort of mentioned before.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to offer something else or to ask questions and say, you know, if someone chose Calm Balm, why did you choose Calm Balm over Skin Therapist? Or I see that you selected Skin Therapist. What are you doing for your cleanser? Make sure that you're having those conversations with them, because they may have really listened to the part where we talked about how important moisturizing your skin is, but if they aren't cleansing it, then there's still a piece that's missing. So make sure that when you are watching them go through this checkout process, and that you're answering the questions and also asking questions, because oftentimes you can just fill in or upsell by asking a simple question like, okay, well, what are you doing for cleanser? Oh, nothing. Well, now your $26 sale went to a $44 sale.
Correct. Also, if you start your party on time and you're not overly extra talking and you're just sort of keeping track of the time and how you're going, you'll have more time to spend with those people because they think they're leaving at 3. Don't talk until 2:30. Don't demo until 2:30. You don't want the last half hour for putting in orders, because people might want color matched. They want you to just sit down and talk to them and show them that you're there for them. And they don't want a ton of people like, it's 3:15. I thought I was going to be leaving 15 minutes ago.
Or they scheduled something after.
Yeah, so be considerate of their time.
Yes.
Now, after, okay, the party is over. You are going to follow up. I have a follow-up binder. I'm obsessed with it. That's where I put all of my clients to. Whatever your system is, use it. Add your new clients, because they are clients, even though they were just your friend's friend or your host's friend. They're your clients now. They have purchased from you, and you want them to purchase from you again. So you need to treat them. Don't treat people who shop at your party or that somebody else hosted as just somebody else's friend. They're your clients now, so you need to treat them like it. Send thank you cards to them. You guys, it's a small investment in your business. What is it, 44 cents?
Mm-hmm. And with a makeup wipe inside.
Right. I send with a make-off wipe. If someone, like she said, got a moisturizer, talked about a cleanser, and said next time, keep a note of that. Then add, instead of giving them a make-off wipe, give them a couple samples. I always say do that for the guests, but also thank you to the host.
Yes.
You want to make sure that you send something nice. Like I was thinking for this party, because the sales were $1,072.
And she doesn't want to close it yet because there's a few more orders coming
There's
through.
a few more orders from her job. Her job doesn't get paid till Friday. We're closing it on Friday. And there's a few women who want to grab some things. So, I can't wait to see how this party ends. But
Can we stop for a minute and talk about what you made?
Yes. Okay. So, we're all here to make money, right? In the feel-good sisterhood, we get that. But at the end of the day, Mama wants to make money. And at this party alone, I made $375. Commission, boom, in my pocket. Okay?
In 3 hours.
In 3 hours. $375. And guess what? Everything that happens from here until Friday when we close it is just going to be more money. I wouldn't be surprised if I make $500 off of this party. Mm-hmm. And, sales isn't something that I consider my strong suit. But this idea of having a makeup event and treating them like it's a class and you're teaching them something just totally changed the game. Mm-hmm. And, it's important to start advertising on your social media. Hey, I had this awesome party or this awesome one-on-one, and tell people about it, because then it puts the little thought in their head that maybe they could have one too. Can you imagine if you made $375 every weekend if you had a party every weekend? Like, yes, please. And that's, we obviously make residual income from, once we're growing a team, but that's like I think Kat said it to me before, like, you have to secure your own business. Make sure that you are doing what you need to do to put money in your pocket. Your team's not here to do that. You pour into your team and you benefit from it, but that's not, not going to go there. Okay.
I think one of the biggest things that I'll add into is that, so she'll tell you what the hostess gets. What this hostess is going to get 5% of the order of the total party sales once it actually closes. And then I think she has a gift that she was going to give as well. But the biggest thing is to just walk in and be confident. When you walk in and you're confident and you have your makeup on and you explain that you're going to teach them something, you don't have to know everything about makeup. The thing is my sister and I'm just a mom and a normal lady. I have a business background and my sister is a teacher. So we are not makeup artists. And there are some makeup artists who are on our team, obviously, and they're going to even have more things to bring to the table. But when we stress that, I think people related to us a lot. But in addition to that, we said, like, hey, we've learned so much and now we're experts too, and we want to show you and teach you. And that confidence is what was, like, I think took people from reading those papers to just intently watching and listening.
It was so quiet. So one thing you might want to do is put Pandora on your iPad if you get awkward social anxiety. And I was like, I'm sweating because everyone's listening to me. And I made a joke about how my third graders never listen to me this good. They never do. But they were just really good students. Question was, what does the hostess get? I haven't quite decided. I'm going to sort of look at what her party ends. If her party ends like $1,500, I think she deserves something more than a make-off white, right? Okay, so she is going to get her 5%. So I'm going to look at what she got for herself and base, am I saying that right? Yeah, base what I give her off of that conversation in her order. If she didn't get SoTox and she got a few other things, maybe I'll send her a SoTox. I mean, at this point, I'm getting 35% off anyway. Or maybe I'll just give her a $5 gift card to Starbucks and say, thanks a latte for hosting a party. If you get cute with it, they love it. Who doesn't love a free cup of coffee? Right. Especially to Starbucks, because it's not cheap. Can you do that?
Yes.
Yes, it's toward products. So she can go on and buy whatever she wants from LimeLight. Yes. And that's already, like, you can keep track of that back in the green room. Where are we? Okay.
We're almost finished.
Yes. Guys. Share the details of the party. Okay. At the very end, share the details of your party with your host. Tell them, oh my goodness, today alone. So I shot over a thank you message and I told her, hey, thank you so much for having me over. Today alone, your sales were $1,072. I think this is something that your group of people, your network, really would enjoy seeing you do too. And she's like, yeah, I think I might want to do this. And for her to start calculating in her brain, I'm sure she pulled out her calculator to see how much money I took home from her friends and family. And she starts to put herself in my shoes. And so today, she sent me a text and said, call me when you get a minute. And I said, I want to share this because I was telling my sister, we have to watch our mindset. We always preach that it's important to be positive and it's important to get your mind right. And I started getting a little bit nervous. Why does she want me to call her? What if she doesn't like the makeup? What if she wasn't happy about something? And she called me to tell me she wants to join and she wants to do it before the end of the month because she wants to earn the ring light on her phone because she saw it in an opportunity group that I added her in. So my little pea brain was saying, she hates everything. She hates me. And really she's like, talk to my husband and he's on board. Can we talk on Tuesday? I'm going to join your team. Okay, so yay. Woohoo! That was like this. Literally from the beginning to the end was like the picture perfect party. They're not all going to go like this. Right. There are going to be some that are flops. You will have some where there are 2 people there, and that's okay. You have to remember that every single person that is there is worth it. It's worth your time. I mean, you don't want to keep doing this every weekend where you're only meeting with 2 people, but you're building relationships. And even if no one buys from you, you are getting experience. And the party that has 8 people at it, you're going to be able to handle because you just perfected it with that 2-person party.
Absolutely. And you've learned from every single one.
Yes.
I think that's it.
I think so.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share the document with you guys, and it also has, I think it's 2 pages. The first one is this flyer, and then the second one has my little thank you. I'll leave that on there if you guys want to, or I'm sorry, the little sign that says, don't touch my stuff without sanitary tools.
Crystal has a question. Crystal, we mentioned it earlier, but there were 8 people, including the hostess.
Correct.
At this party.
And it was the hostess and her mom. And I really wasn't expecting her mom to buy anything. Usually, like, you invite your mom just to, like, be moral support.
She's there in case no one else comes.
Yeah, and she was just as interested in the product. It was awesome. I did tell her, I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning, I said just like 5 to 10 people. Like 5 people's good.
Right.
There's Mary Kay always says there's power in 5, okay? 5 people is a good number. You can be really intimate and give them all that you need to give them to ensure that they're returning customers. So I said between 5 to 10, and there were 8, and it was perfect.
Yep.
So I hope everyone enjoyed this live. Thank you for listening to us on your Sunday night.
Yes, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Feel free to share with your teams, and if you have any questions, drop them below. We will put the letter in the files here in the Face Crew, and then we will also drop the pictures of the setup.
Good question. Kimberly asks, if the host joined your team, would you turn the clients back over to them?
Yes.
In
From
fact,
that point forward.
the girl who wanted to host a party with me, I said to the woman when we were on the phone, so that was probably already in her mind, like, oh no, sister, you're not getting any more of my friend's money. It's going to be mine.
Yeah.
So,
all
right,
guys.
Thank you guys.
Thanks
we'll talk
so
to you
much.
later.
Bye.
Bye.